Hi everyone, I am Vrinda Gadesha and I work as an AI advocate and a technical content author at IBM.com. So today we will be discussing about Granite model and a hands-on lab that how to summarize a document on that. So let's begin. Let me just share my screen. So here we go with our entire session, how it looks like. Um So everyone is aware about large language models and a different use cases of it. We might be using its app, their interfaces, different APIs with that. But today we are going to use a model Granite to summarize an entire huge document. So let's start. Here is the title. We are going to do this use case called document summarization with a Granite model. So, before we jump into the technical stuff and before we jump into the coding part, let's understand what document summarization is. So, basically, it's a process of considering a large document and summarize it into a small summary where we can understand it and it is easily consumable by us. So what kind of cognitive skills we need to do the document summarization? First is reading comprehension. We need to understand and read it properly. We need critical thinking to understand whether the point which we are reading is important to put it in the summary or not. The third is writing clarity. We need to know that these short points are important for our summarization or not. The fourth is very important, that is called domain knowledge. So for example, if I have a huge 100-page document with a sports detail or a sports analytics, and I if I give that particular document to a person who is a pharma analyst, they are not able to summarize that. So domain knowledge is also important. Next is language proficiency. We need somebody who has a strong command on grammar, vocabulary, and sentence structure. And the last is summarization techniques. So, this all thing we are doing in our mind while we are summarizing some content by default. So, now we need a code or a model which can understand all these things, come up with a cognitive ability, and summarize a document for us. So let's move to the next slide. Now we will understand little more about Granite. If we wanted to use Granite, where we can find Granite, how to get the Granite, and how to navigate through this. What is the actual source of getting Granite? So the actual source is IBM Granite Hugging Face card, which is an official page. If you wanted to try it right away, you can scan this QR code and just visit to IBM Granite Hugging Face page with me. You can also follow this, so you will get all the updates which are coming. So what is there on this page? First thing is you will get all the updates live. So whatever new is released, any updates has been happened to some model, you can see it over there. The next thing is you can see the team members who has contributed to Granite model. You can also see the collection which has been recently launched with a different categories and which version is a newer version which has been released. You can also check out a different model with a different use cases as well. So we have embedding model, we have vision model, we have Granite Guardian model, and so on. So you can check out all these collections available there. If you wanted to skim through entire model database, you can also check out here. There are more than 100 models available on Hugging Face page. So you can check out a model. Simply you just need to click on the card. All the details, what the model does, how the model has been trained, and how to use it has been given over there. So you can check out that. The best place to visit in this entire repository is a spaces. So if you don't want to install anything, you can just simply skim through this space which is already there. It's a prototype of any application. So let's say if we have a long IBM annual report, which is a financial report, if you can see it here, and it's an 18-page report. Now it's very difficult to read this entire report and understand each and every financial diagram, but Granite 3.2 vision model helps us to summarize, or even it helps us to understand the images as well. So if you prompt a question to this particular document, the Granite vision model will help to generate an answer with respect to the context as well. So the question which you have asked as a prompt, it will give you a context that this is the image which is available in this entire document, and you can get an answer what this image means to say. So this is how you can check out the application based on Granite model, which is available on Hugging Face page. Same way you can also explore IBM Guardian model as well. So this is how the Hugging Face card is there. Again, I would like to recommend that you scan the QR code and visit this page and follow it to get all the updates over there. Let's move ahead. So the next is IBM Granite community. Before we jump into the code, I would like to recommend that if you can just go to official IBM Granite community and follow it. If you follow it, you can explore all the documentation available there. Different recipes which has been added by IBM experts would be getting there, and you will be getting that. It will be helpful for the projects, as well as it will be helpful to generate some prototypes as well. So this is also a good resource to be a Granite family member to join this community. So now let's move ahead to the demo which we wanted to do for the Granite workshop. So you can just scan this QR code to reach out to the demo, and once you scan it, you will be see the entire lab available there. So let's just move ahead. I hope everyone is getting, the QR code. So this is how the Granite workshop looks like. This entire workshop is having 5 different labs available. We are going to do the summarization lab today, but apart from that, we have a RAG techniques lab, we have time series forecasting lab, we have entity recognition, and we have multimodal LLM lab as well. So it is highly recommend that you scroll with all these labs and try it on your own. So let's try it. If you wanted to go through the lab, you have to click here on document summarization with Granite, lab 1. So once you click on this, you can see that this entire lab has been opened. Now here there are different steps has been given. So there are two options. Either you can run it on your local machine via Jupyter Notebook. If you are running it on a local machine, you can go through the pre-work, that what are the setup steps. We are going to do it with a Google Colab resource. So simply click on open in Colab, and the entire Colab file will be opened for you. So now as you are already on the code, you can just skim through each and every cell. So let's start doing it. But hang on, before you go there, I highly recommend that do not run this code directly. To get a best optimum output, I suggest that go to File, and here select the option Save a copy in a drive. So once you click it, the entire copy would be saved to your particular drive, so you can access it whenever you want. Once this is created, you can see here the copy has been created. You may want it to rename it. So let's say I would be rename it with my name, something like this. Once this is done, you can run this code. Meanwhile, once we start running this code, you may need a replicate API key. So I think many of you can create your own account with a GitHub credentials. If not, then you will be getting a link in a chat box. You can use that link where IBM is providing a free credits of $3. You can use that as well. So we will see it once we are going to run it. Let's start. So let's connect our collab. Once we connect it, we can check. We have two options. Either we can run this entire code on CPU, or we can run it on TPU. So you can check the resources when you click on this RAM and disk option. You can see some resources. So right now, as you can see, we have RAM available as in 12 GB. But let's move on to the safer side. So this entire tutorial can run on CPU as well. But to get a faster outcome, to load the details like more quickly, we can change our runtime type. So right now, I would prefer to select the TPU. So let's say I have selected this and I would be saving this. So now I would be getting a new updated resources. You can see the resources are connecting here, and now the updated RAM is 334 GB. So now we have enough resources. Let's start running the code. So I'll run the first cell, which is importing the system and importing a Python. Then we will install some of the dependencies. So if you are going to run this dependency code on CPU, it will take around 2 minutes of time, and in TPU, it may take little less time. So that is the difference of infrastructure. Now here we are installing first Granite IBM community to get a unit functions to support the ecosystem and run the Granite model. The next we are using is a LangChain community to use the LangChain framework over there. Once this all the dependencies are installed, it is recommended that you restart the session. So we will click this pop up and restart the session. And once it is done, you can see some of the dependencies are already installed and some of them will be installed in this particular instance. Now let's move ahead. So now we wanted to serve the Granite AI model. So we need to select our model. Here we are going to use Granite 3.3 model. So there are two options. We are going to pull the Granite 3.3 instruct model with a 8 billion parameter from Olalama host. And if it doesn't work, or if it is taking longer time, we are going to pull it from the replicate. So here you need a replicate API token. You have two options, as I mentioned previously. You can just click here on a replicate API token. So once you click it, you will be redirected to the replicate account. If you are going through this for the first time, you need to log in via your GitHub credentials. Once you are here, you can simply create a token. You need to write a name and create a token. Once you create it, you can simply copy from here. If you are not getting this, you can use the link which is given in the chat box to get your token over there. So these are two options. I have my own token which is already there, so I'm going to take it from my wallet, but you don't need to follow that. So let's start. I'm going to run this code, and yes, it is asking me for a replicate API token, which you need to take it from the replicate account. But I already have it. That's why I'm going to use it from my wallet. I hope everyone is clear till now. If anyone is having any questions, feel free to write it down in the chat box. After this entire thing runs properly, I will try to answer the questions with respective time. So let's say I have copied my API key, and let me just add it here. So we'll just put it here. And once we have added the replicate API token key, now let's call the transformer. So transformer is basically a Hugging Face package which helps us to load the model. Um, let's run it. It will take a couple of minutes to get run. Meanwhile, let's understand what other packages we are going to use in this entire tutorial. So we are going to use here LangChain Olalama to host the model. We are going to use replicate to get the API key, and we are going to use the docklink. This is the most important part because we are going to process a longer document, which is a book. So docklink is going to process that. Now, as you can see, our transformer has pulled the model. Let's try to summarize the document. So if you see this code, you can see that here we are going to use this book, the novel, which is having 18 different chapters. So let's try to break this book into different chunks. Now here we are going to use the hierarchical model. We wanted to get a summary of each chapter, and after that we wanted to combine the summary. So if you see here, we have created 18 different documents with 18 different chapters, and you can see the max document size with the token is 38,000. So the longest chapter is having 38,000 tokens. Now what does token means? Token means each and every word of the book. So for example, it is written as chapter 1, welcome to this book. So we have chapter as a one token, one as a one token, then welcome as a one token, two as one token, this as one token, and book as one token. So in the longest chapter we have 38,000 tokens. Now let's summarize the chunk. So each and every document is having a huge chapter, and we wanted to summarize it with a smaller tokens. So let's run it, and you can see we have run this code. Now let's try to print it. So once it has been generated, it will generate an output like this. So you can see that here we can see chapter 1, and you can see the total tokens are 38,000, and the output size, the summary size, is having 457 tokens. For chapter 2 as well, you can see we have 9,000 token, and the output is generated with 271 tokens. Same way we can skim through like chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, and so on. So if you see, it will take a couple of minutes but not that much high. As you can see, we have reached to chapter 15 within few seconds, and as you can see here, most of them are having higher token as an input size, the chapter size, and a smaller token as an output size. So now you can see, once this code has run, you can see the summary count, which is 18. So ideally we have given 18 chapters as input, and we are getting 18 different summaries as output. Now let's create the final summary. So we have different summaries, and we wanted to put all together. So let's run it. Now if you see here, the input size is 5,000. Here it's very interesting to see that if you go through all of this, if you sum up these numbers, let's say output size of 457, 271, 219, if you sum up all of this, you are going to get the same number as an input. So we are giving the previous cell's output as an input here to generate a final summary. And you can see here that we can see the entire book summary in only 300 words. So this is how you can summarize a large document using Granite model and Docklink. So I hope you understood this, and let's move ahead to the deck to get few more resources which can help you understand Granite more better. So let's move. I hope you all have got this workshop and you have follow along the code. The next thing which I would like to recommend is to follow the IBM tutorial repository. So if we just skim through this repository, let me just walk you through this. This repository is having lot many examples which are available there, lot many use cases are available there, using Docklink, using Granite, using latest technology. So let's say if you skim through generative AI, you can see so many examples are already available there with the latest updates. So I recommend that you visit this repository. It's a good resource to visit, and you can also save this by starring this. So whenever you wanted to use, you can use it. And for a better and easy access, you can fork this as well. So you can see the entire repository available in your account, and you can easily utilize it. So I hope this helps you, and let's see few more resources. So if you wanted to learn from the scratch, let's say if you feel that this entire hands-on is little high level for you and you wanted to learn from scratch, IBM offer lot many courses about Granite as well. So there is an entire catalog called student catalog on a skill build. You can again scan this QR code and reach out to the student catalog. There are many courses available, but these three courses are very much helpful if you wanted to understand Granite model. So again, I recommend to go through these courses and learn Granite. Yep. And that's it from my side. I hope you understood this entire workshop. You understood how to navigate through the Granite model. You even understood where to find Granite properly. Many of you have a question that whether it is open source or not. So yes, the models which are available on Hugging Face, they all are open source, free to use. So I hope you enjoyed the session. Have a great day ahead. And yes, let me check if any questions are available. So there is a one question. Does the model aim to summarize the text or create a new summarized document based on the original? So this is a generative text model, right? So it will create a summary. It will not copy paste what is there in the document. So it will definitely generate a new summary, but it will not take anything which is outside the document. It would be completely there from what is there inside the book. Thank you so much for asking this question. Uh, Bremer, I hope I have pronounced your name correctly. Great question. Thank you so much for asking. Uh, all right. I think one more question is there from Abdul. How does the chunking works? How does it understood how to chunk chapter wise? Okay. Great question, and thank you for asking. So, as I mentioned, we have used a docling over there. So, and we are using HTML format. So, if you understand the HTML format, when the new chapter starts, we have heading which is tagged as an H1 in a H1 tag. So, docling has an ability to understand that if the H1 tag is starting, we are starting with a new chapter, and that is why it understood that these many tokens are there in one chapter or these many tokens are there in second chapter. I hope I answered the question, Abdul. uh, all right, I can't see any other questions. All right, thank you so much everyone. Have a great day ahead and happy learning and generate more content with Granite. Thank you so much.